All right, guys, hello. This is your week 3 video, which is going to be on adding fractions with different denominators. So to start, we're going to do a little bit of review. This was from week 1. I taught you guys how to add fractions when the denominators were the same. Remember, when I say denominators, I'm talking about the bottoms of the fractions. Okay, so when I add with same denominators, I add on top. 3 plus 1 is 4, but then the bottom stays the exact same. So my answer on this one would be 4 over 2. Next one, 3 plus 2 gives me 5. Bottom stays the same, and I get 5 over 7. Okay, on the next one, be careful because this is telling you that we're subtracting or minus. So I'm going to go 6 minus 1 is 5, and I get 5 over 8 because the bottom stays the same. Okay, so then the question now is, what happens if our denominators are different or not the same? Okay, in order to do this, we're going to have to get them to be the same, where we first need to find the LCM, which is our least common multiple. We convert both denominators to the LCM, and then we add or subtract. Okay, so on the first one, I'm going to look at my denominators of 4 and 8, and I'm going to come over to the side, 4 and 8, and I'm going to list out my multiples. I'm going to go 4, and then 8, 12, 16. 8 is 8, 16, and it keeps going and going. But if I look right here, that is my least common multiple is 8. Okay, so that's step 1. Find the least common multiple. That's 8. Step 2 is going to be convert both of these fractions. So I'm going to put like an 8 over here and an 8 over here to 8ths. Now, 8 times what gives me 8, and it's 8 times 1, so I do the same to the bottom and the top. Over here, 4 times 2 is equal to 8, so then I got to do the same thing on top. 3 times 2. Okay, we're making equivalent fractions, if you guys remember doing that. Okay, equivalent fractions are the exact same. So on the top, I'm going to get here, 4 times 1 is 4, and then I'm going to cross out this, just so I don't get confused here, okay? 4 times 2 is 8, so now I do 3 times 2 is 6. And if I cross that out, this is the new problem I have. I have this 6 over 8 plus 4 over 8, which now I have common denominators. So I can say that this is equal to 10 over 8. So that was step 2 and 3. Convert them to the LCM. We made both of them 8s. Step 3, add or subtract them. Okay, so let's try a couple more here. So the next one, notice that I've got a 2 and a 3 are different. So I've got to go 2 and then 3. So multiples are 2, 4, 6. And then 3 is 3, 6, 9. I could keep going, but I don't have to because right there is my 6. Okay, so I write over here, I go 6 and 6. That is my least common multiple. So now 3 times what gives me 6? It's 3 times 2. So I do times 2 on the bottom and top. It has to be the same. 2 times what gives me 6? 3. And then 1 times 3. Okay, so 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to cross off my original. And now my new problem is this, 3 over 6. Oops, let me erase that. 3 over 6 plus 4 over 6. 3 plus 4 is 7. Bottom stays the same. We get 7 over 6. Okay, let's try another one. So my next one, 3 over 4 plus 4 over 6. Notice I've got a 4 and a 6, so I'm going to go 4 and then 6. I'm going to list some multiples, 6, 12, 18. For 4, I could go 4, 8, 12, 16, and it keeps going, but there is my least common multiple right there. Okay, so I'm going to go over 12. And over 12. Now 6 times 2 gives me 12, so then I got to multiply by 2 on top. 4 times 3 gives me 12, so I'm going to multiply by 3 on the top and the bottom. So 3 times 3 is 9. Cross that one out. 4 times 2 is 8. Those are my equivalent fractions. So my new problem is 9 over 12 plus 8 over 12. And 9 plus 8 is 17 over 12. Okay, so now let's try another one here. So now I've got, notice I'm subtracting here, minusing, and I've got 9 and 3, so I'm going to list out my multiples of 9, some multiples of 3. So I could go 3, 6, 9, 12. 9 is 9, 18, 27. we can stop because I see that I've got a 9 and a 9. So I'm going to go over 9, over 9. This one over here doesn't change because 9 times 1 equals 9. 7 times 1 is equal to 7, so that one's going to be 7 over 9. 3 times 3 gives me 9, so I've got to multiply 2 by 3 gives me 6. So I'm going to cross out the original ones. My new problem is 7 over 9, not plus, I got a minus. Okay, because I'm subtracting here. So minus 6 over 9. 7 minus 6 is 1 over 9. There's my answer. Okay, when you guys have watched this video, you have a worksheet. It's labeled Lesson 9 Skills Maintenance that you guys need to